A Journey Round My Room by Xavier de Maistre. Translated from the French with a notice of the author's life by H.A. To S.A. H.A. Preface. The author of the Voyage autour de ma chambre was the younger brother of Count Joseph de Maistre, a well-known writer upon political and philosophical subjects. Chambéry was the place of their birth, but their family was of French origin. Both brothers were officers in the Sardinian army, and when Savoy was conquered by the French, Xavier de Maistre sought an asylum in St. Petersburg, where his brother resided in the capacity of envoy from the court of Sardinia. Xavier entered the Russian army, distinguished himself in the war against Persia, and attained the rank of Major General. Our interest in the Voyage is heightened by our knowledge that it was actually written during de Maistre's 42 days' arrest at Turin, referred to in the 3rd chapter. He sent the manuscript, which he regarded as a mere playful effort of his imagination, for his brother's perusal. Joseph was pleased with the book, and Xavier, who had an almost filial affection for his brother, was soon afterwards agreeably surprised by receiving, in place of his manuscript, the Voyage in print. This success encouraged him to begin a sequel to the voyage. Joseph, however, disapproved of this new attempt. The Expedition Nocturne was, notwithstanding, finished, and was published some years later. Xavier de Maistre's next production, 1811, was Le Lépreux de la Cité d'Aoste, a very touching and gracefully written narrative. It occupies but a few pages, and as it is to be found in almost every good anthology of French literature, is perhaps the best known of our author's works. His other books are Les Prisonniers du Caucase, 1815, and Le Jeune Sibérien, both of them charming works containing faithful pictures of domestic scenes with which we are little familiar through other sources. From his childhood, Xavier de Maistre was devoted to painting. He deservedly gained considerable reputation as a painter of miniature portraits and landscapes. Nor did he neglect science while devoting himself to art and literature. He applied himself so successfully to the study of chemistry that he was able to communicate several valuable memoirs to the Academy of Turin, of which he was a member. Xavier de Maistre died 1852 at an advanced age in his adopted country, where he had married, and which he only quitted once for a brief season. Some apology for publishing this translation is perhaps necessary. Although in France the Voyage retains the high esteem in which it has been held for half a century, it is hardly known in England, except by those who are familiar with the French language and literature. During the last 20 years, the proportion of educated persons in this country who are unable to enjoy a French book in the original has greatly decreased. Still, there are some to whom a translation of this delightful work may be acceptable. To them I offer the pleasant labour of a few leisure hours, but not without assuring them that, in endeavouring to reproduce faithfully the author's ideas, I have felt at every paragraph how true it is that le style ne se traduit pas. Style is untranslatable. The headings of the chapters are not de Maistre's. They appear in Tardew's pretty little edition of the Voyage. The miniatures, by Monsieur Vessier, are from the same source. H.A. Barnes, Surrey, autumn 1871. Circumstances beyond my control prevented my seeing any proof of these pages, such Latinized forms as behavior and favor. The misplaced hyphen on the first line of page 25, the double L in skillful, page 138, last line but one, and the frequent suppression of the former of two parenthetical commas as before I, page 19, line 18. These are the few deviations from my manuscript for which the printer is responsible. The reader will oblige by substituting comfortable for agreeable on page 38, line 3, sweet for lovely on page 68, line 4, and ignoramuses for ignorant on page 78, line 12. H.A.